I'm thrilled to share with you my story behind Visus Sonitus, a digital video art piece that I created to visually match a contemporary musical work, Concert for Birds and Orchestra, from the celebrated Finnish composer Einojuhani Rautavaara. This is the incredible story of how I had a vision that I would meet Rautavaara and I would show him this video art animation with the purpose of thanking him for his incredible music, and how I actually ended up meeting him in his apartment in Helsinki, where I projected him this video artwork exactly as I envisioned. Visus Sonitus wouldn't have happened without my condition of synaesthesia, which, for those of you who don't know, allows me to see the color of sounds, and this work is an attempt to show to the world what it feels like seeing colors of sounds. But also it wouldn't have happened without artists before me, like Kandinsky, who explored the connection between music and painting, or Oliver Messiaen, another artist with synaesthesia, obsessed with the sounds of birds, or even the Disney artists on Fantasia and Fantasia 2000 that showed the world how music could be transcribed into visual animation. But most importantly, this video wouldn't have happened without Rautavaara. Rautavaara, for those of you who don't know, was one of Finland's most important composers of all time. One day around 2012, I was listening to the radio and the radio was playing this work. I had never heard music from this composer, and two powerful things happened. The first one, Rautavaara was introducing real sounds of birds in the concert, recordings that he made in the Lapland bogs and the marshlands of Liminka. I must tell you, I'm obsessed with bird sounds because they have a very high pitch, sharp nature, and this provokes in me vibrant colors very clearly. But in this concert there were not only sounds of birds, but also orchestra instruments, flutes, clarinets, strings, metals. So not only I could feel the birds' sounds, colors and their sound shapes flying around me, but also the instruments with their own colors flying with them, tracing lines, playing with the birds' sounds. I was inside the music, traveling with the music and the birds' sounds. Rautavaara's concert literally ignited my mind and my perception with colors. It was an incredible experience that I needed to express to the world. But the second powerful thing that happened is something really strange. I felt that somehow the music I was hearing was resonating with me at a very deep level. It's like finding a sound and a music that is talking about me without words. I had goosebumps, what they call spiritual chills. It's actually a physical thing, which is called the sympathetic vibration effect. You pull a string and make it vibrate, and another string of similar nature nearby will vibrate too. And this is basically how art evolves through time. It happens with works of art emitting certain frequency, even from artists that are long dead, and sensitive artists being able to feel it and vibrate with it, because that frequency lines up with their nature, and that frequency is basically the spark that inspires them to create new artworks from it. So well, this clearly happened with Rautavaara's music. That same night, before going to sleep, I had what you could call a vision. I saw myself showing Rautavaara a projection of a video animation in his home, a work that showed visually what I experienced with his concert. This vision felt incredibly real, as if it was meant to be, and when a vision like that shows you the way, you have to follow it, because there was no fear, just pure passion and enthusiasm to make it happen. This vision helped me to cope with the struggle of the process of creation of this work. Let's talk about the process. Well, the goal was to create a visual representation as true as possible to what I experienced when listening to the music. Flutes are for me orange, and clarinets tend to be purple. Metals go to the red colors, very intense, and birds are mostly yellow, orange. I wanted the spectator to feel my synaesthesia. And I wanted the spectator to feel immersed, to travel with the music. That's why this work was designed from the very beginning to be stereoscopic, to be viewed with 3D glasses or VR sets, to create an immersive experience. A full synesthetic experience, synchronized with precision with the music, empowered by the feeling of space and 3D depth, all surrounded by an atmospheric environment that had to match the essence and the feeling of the music. And it needed to be obviously a video animation. It's the only way to capture the essence of time, which is core to the music. For the animation side, I use 3D software, which is what I use in my daily job in movies for more than 20 years, but I had to develop code to translate MIDI files into data that I could use for my particle emissions, and I had to create other digital tools to use my hand drawing movements to drive instruments trajectories and camera trajectories. It was fascinating to do, but 1 year of full, committed, dedicated work. Once the work was done, the challenging part was to meet Rautavaara. It took a lot of effort, writing letters to all his record publishers, and one of the publishers, Ari Nieminen from Fenica German, put me in contact with him. And I wrote him a long email with a link to the video, explaining the work, explaining how his music affected me, talking about the concept of resonance I mentioned before. And one day, I got an email, and it was Rautavaara himself. I must tell you, receiving that email was one of the best moments of my life. Especially him saying that it was quite an experience to see and hear my synesthetic work, wonderful visions. He really liked it. It meant so much to me. A few more emails followed up when we agreed to meet so I could show him the work in person as it should be seen, and a few weeks later I was in his apartment in Helsinki, and this was surreal. He was there in the living room with his wife Sini, who was very kind. And he was an incredible, warm person, very wise and calm, but didn't have much energy since he was very old, and sadly 2 years later he would pass. We briefly talked about how important is the atmosphere in the music and how important it was for me to stage in the work atmosphere as well. Similar to what theater does, the lighting changes over the course of the visual piece. And well, after a while, I brought my projector, gave him the 3D glasses and showed him the visualization of his music, and it was pure magical moment for me. The vision was literally happening in front of my eyes, exactly how I had envisioned it. And he loved it, and well, that was it. We made a photo together and something to remember forever. Visus Sonitus was shortlisted and finalist of the prestigious Lumen Prize in 2015, and it has been exhibited already in numerous venues around the world, including New York, London. But I think this work is still relevant and interesting, and it should be shown more, and deserves to be seen by more people in the way it was intended. I think exhibiting Visus Sonitus offers museums and galleries a very unique opportunity to engage audiences with a work that is technically innovative and deeply personal. This work makes the experience of this incredible music visible. Visus Sonitus taps into a bigger concept. It's about visualizing what is typically invisible, uniting what is often perceived as separate, union of perceptions, resonance between artists. It's about connection, interconnectedness, and resonance. Visus Sonitus is made out of gratitude for Rautavaara's music, and it shows how two different artists from the visual and musical world can synchronize and resonate with the same frequency, just expressed in different forms. I believe artists are mediums capable of expressing a deeper frequency that resonates through time, and Visus Sonitus is one such expression for me. Thank you so much for this opportunity to explain this work properly, and see you soon.